so I'm back with a review of Glass Sword. As always, spoilers, and well, most likely going to be talking about spoilers in this, so this is going to be more of like a book talk and book discussion. So if you're watching this, I'm just going to assume that you've read the first book, you've read this book, or you don't care if you get spoiled, but I will be just doing a quick review in the beginning, so you can just leave after that if you want. So the plot of Glass Sword was basically, well, the overall plot was basically Mare finding the other people who had the same abilities like she does, like people who have silver blood abilities like hers. So that's the overall plot of Glass Sword. However, it felt like I was reading so much, like I read it in such a short time, but it felt like the book dragged on forever. And I mean, look how small it is. It's a very small book, but I felt like I was reading for 500 years. There was just so much other stuff happening in it as well that it just felt like I was reading a whole bunch of different other books combined into one. It took ages for things to happen. Literally around about page 200 was when I was really getting into this. Like, before that, I was just kind of like, yes, indeed. Basically, it just got interesting when Maven came back. I don't know, I really liked Maven in Red Queen, and I was very sad that he turned out to be the villain in the end. That was a really good plot twist, probably like one of the most recent really good plot twists I've ever read. Like, I didn't pick it up at all. There were some points during Red Queen where I was like, it'd be funny if Maven was evil this whole time, but then like that left really quickly because like you start to know him a bit more. But no, he's evil. And yeah, so every time when he popped up in this, like again, I was like, things are happening now. It just took forever for things to happen. Like, they were just running a lot, they were going from place to place a lot. It was a lot of traveling, basically. There's a lot of traveling and not a lot of doing and a lot of talking, so I don't know what that's about. Overall, I didn't like this book as much as Red Queen, and I had read that a lot of people didn't like Glass Sword, and the books get better afterwards, so hopefully they do, because I didn't really like this one at all. Like, it was okay, but it was not up to par with Red Queen. It is really just a filler because like nothing happened. Basically, I'm heading into spoilers now, so you've been warned. Okay, there was no romance happenings, like nothing happened in that department. There were so many like Cal and Mare moments, but nothing actually happened. There was no like, we're a thing now. The same with Killian, even though he is just like a best friend. They kept dancing around that. And which I did like that Mare was actually like, I like you as a friend, and that's it. And I was like, thank you. Instead of just being like the stereotypical, I don't know that my best friend loves me. She knew that he did. So when he says it, she's like, nah, because I don't. So I really like that. But yeah, there was like no romance progressing. There was hardly Maven at all in this book, and I do like Maven. Like, I liked him a lot in the first one, but I like him now because he's a very interesting villain. Speaking of characters as well, I felt like, I don't know, there was a lot of personality changes in this. Like, I felt like people were getting mad at Mare for no apparent reason, and I felt like people were putting her in charge for no apparent reason. Like, she spent a few months living as a silver blood princess. She doesn't know that much, and like they always put her up as a leader. Like, they treat her differently, and it's like, oh, don't do this, like, don't do the stereotypical like, I'm the leader but no one likes me sort of thing. Like, no, I don't want that. Like, why can't we just have someone who is a leader, who has been through these things, but they're liked, and their followers like them. But no, Mare has to be treated differently, even though she has weird powers like other people too. And that's just my thought on that. And yeah, I just felt like people had personality shifts. I didn't get Cal in this. He stayed the same. Like, my likeness for him did not change at all. I didn't really like Cal in Red Queen. I never got why we were forced to like him with him and Mare when he barely spent any time with her, so I never understood that. And with this, I didn't, like, my feelings for him didn't change. I just felt like, oh yeah, he's whatever. Like, you need him because he's got intel and he's good at his powers. But, like, whatever, I don't... Like, he's okay, but, like, it just stayed the same. Like, he didn't do anything where I was like, oh, good on you, Cal. Killian was the same as Cal. Feelings for him didn't change. Didn't really mind him in Red Queen. Didn't really not like him in Red Queen. This, he stayed the same for me. He didn't really change. At some points I thought, oh, that was a good thing. At other times I was like, Killian, shut up. Why are you here? He just didn't progress as a character for me. Shade, on the other hand, was a very interesting character. I really liked Shade. He was great. Don't know why he died, actually. I think that was just because, oh, he's got a teleporting thing. Let's kill him off because that makes sense. It didn't make sense. Him dying didn't make sense because he was dead all throughout Red Queen, and then you find out that at the end that he's alive. So Shade dying was annoying because it's like someone else could have died. Killian should have died, actually. Like, that would have been more of an impact. Shade dying, I was like, I wasn't sad, I was mad. And on to that, Queen Alara, why the dickens did she die? That annoyed me. We didn't even get to see her death. Shade dies, and then it just goes on to the next paragraph, and then there's Queen Alara, a corpse, dead, you know, crispy from being electrocuted by Mare. That was the most pathetic death I've ever heard because, first of all, Ilara to me was built up to be the villain, not Maven. Maven was a villain, but Alara was the one who was also working in his mind. And in Red Queen, like, there are parts in the book, in the end, when you know, Maven is evil, where, like, he has these weird phases, like, he kind of, like, gazes distantly, and then his mother says something, or something happens, and he switches back, and he's, like, evil again. And so, like, that happened twice, where he kind of does that. And so I was like, what if Ilara is really controlling him as well, like, in his mind, and it's really gotten to him? And I thought that that was the case, and either, like, that's going to be another conflict, like Maven is evil, but he's also being twisted by Ilara, like she's also is using him. And the fact that she was at the prison in a laboratory and the guards were mentioning that she's still in the lab and what is she doing? And I was like, ooh, what is she doing? But no, she gets killed and we don't find out, and I thought that was stupid. Going on to the Red Bloods with their special abilities, I felt like a lot of them had very convenient powers, and when Mare blacks out from electrocuting herself and she wakes up, and it's so quick, like it takes so long for them to find the first person with powers. And then after that ordeal with Maven, they find like 5 in the next few pages. Like, they just find them. Like, she wakes up and there's people there. And then soon they have 26 and they're just all milling about, all happy-dappy. And it's like, okay, fair enough. It just took them so long to get one. And then all of a sudden we have all of them. Another thing that I still can't picture it. I didn't really picture it much in Red Queen. I don't know what this genre is. Like, okay, is it fantasy? Is it science fiction? It's dystopian overall because it's a dystopian setting. But is it science fiction or fantasy? I don't know what things are meant to look like because the Silver Bloods dress in finery. And so I'm thinking of like fantasy, whimsical outfits, you know? But then it's like science fiction because it's like they have technology, they have everything that we have, and it's confusing my brain. Like, they went into a facility, a high-tech facility, and then it's mentioned that it has wooden floors, and I was thinking of metal floors? I don't know. But I was like, what is this world meant to look like? Because I can't picture it. She describes parts of buildings. Like, there was a building that had a lot of metal stars on it. But what did the actual building look like? I don't know. It could have been like, was it a block of cement? Was it a castle-like structure? It needs a map, first of all. It needs a map. Why don't you have a map? Like, it just makes sense. Why doesn't it have a map? I don't get it. Like, the concept and idea is very, very interesting, but it needs more detail. It's not that bad to have some detail in world building and stuff like that, because it makes it a lot more immersive. I'm very excited for the next one, King's Cage, because my boy Maven is back. I'm team Maven now. Everyone else, like, Mare is okay, but everyone else can just go die, basically. Mare's family, I don't like them anymore. What the hell? Like, she comes back after Shade's dead and they're just so mad at her. And I'm like, I don't get that, because that was a traumatic experience for her. But, like, they just, like, are mad at her when she comes back. Like, where were you? No, no, no. And it's like, oh, obviously grieving. People grieve in their own ways, people. You know? So, I don't like them. I'm Team Maven. He's evil, but, like, I kind of want them to win. The ending especially was good. Like, Mare's like so sure of herself, but then she's like, oh damn, he is really evil. It's like, yeah, he is really evil, okay? That boy before isn't there anymore. I only like Maven because he's a good villain, and everyone else annoys me. Like, I don't like Cal, I don't like Killion, or however you spell his name. The only other guy character I liked was Shade, and he's dead now, so Team Maven. Not with Mare though, and I don't ship those two. Like, no. Also, Farley. I thought Farley was so older. Like, she's only like 22. I thought she was like in her mid-30s or something. Shade says she's 4 years older than he is and he's 19. I was like, I was picturing an old lady. And Shade as well. I didn't know he was that much older than Mare. I thought he was a lot older. There's a lot of young kids in this. I don't understand, but anyways, overall, didn't really like this one. It was entertaining though, and I'm very excited to see the last one. There were parts in this that were very slow. There were parts in this that they skipped over way too much. Maybe King's Cage is set a year later, because that would be very interesting actually, if they set it a year later. I'd like that, that'd be cool. And Mare's just stuck there, being a little puppy dog. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this. Please let me know in the comments what you thought about King's Cage. I mean, Glass Sword, yeah. And if there's anything else that you would like to bring up, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you again soon. Goodbye.